Let's turn our attention to the defending champs. The Raptors have won a franchise record 14 straight games in a row. They're sitting in second place with a record of 39-14. Kevin, how realistic are Toronto's chances of, let's say, going back to the finals? I won't say back-to-back repeating his chances, but just making it to the finals.
I mean, look, they have a buzzsaw in front of them in Milwaukee, but they lead the league in buy-in. I mean, I don't know if there's a team or a roster that is more committed to this is what we are, this is what we do. They are the most versatile, interesting defensive team we have seen since Paul's 08 or 07-08 Celtics in terms of what they do, how frequently they will change tact. And you and I were talking about it before the show. I mean, this is a team that will run zone, run man, run matchup zone, a boxing one. They treat every, and you said this, I mean, they treat every game, regular season game, like a playoff game. We need to respond to the specific needs of each team.
Each game. So saying that, I want to put this in perspective for fans who may not know. Paul, typically when you're on a regular team, the defensive coverages for the regular season, do they change a lot, or are they basically the same and maybe you tweak here and there?
Well, you got your defensive system.
Right.
And usually the top defensive teams, they stick with it, you know, throughout the course of a season. And they're going to win with it or lose with it. You're going to be hard-headed with your defense, especially when you're a top-tier defense. Now,
but then when you get to the playoffs,
I mean, the thing is, you keep the system. This is what worked all year. If you're a top-notch defense, you're going to live and die by that, regardless. It's not, you don't panic when the playoff comes. If something's not working, you know what the coach is going to say? Do it better, do it harder, period.
Now, they still have consistent coverage calls. It's not so much.
Yeah, we're not.
I mean, they still have a system, but it's just they are willing to kind of do ad hoc defense as the game or the opposition or opponent demands it. And I just think it's really interesting. What's also interesting is when you look at the size of their backcourt, it's really small.
Yeah.
And yet it kind of works. They are the number 2 defense in the league. Here's the problem: ahead of them by 3.5 points, ahead of everybody, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Right. But to me, that's the great contrast. Milwaukee's a team that's hard-headed. We defended this way every single time, even in the playoffs, even though that's how they got beat last year because they gave up so many threes, basically uncovered because they're so aggressive at the point of attack. Toronto, on the other hand, is we adapt to every situation, every game, game by game, as you said, different coverages. And the most impressive thing to me is how many of these guys are not, would you be your first pick when I'm trying to build a great defensive team? In the sense that Terrence Davis, Chris Boucher, I'm not saying they're bad defensive players, I'm just saying they're not brand names, but they've got the IQ to make it happen, to be able to switch coverages from game to game based on a different game plan. I think that's pretty impressive.
Listen, you forget one ingredient. These are the defending champs.
Of course, yeah.
So this is not something that they're doing on the fly. They've been together. They understand how to make these changes.
I'm talking about the new guys, though. They got new guys.
How many new guys they got?
They don't have Kawhi, they don't have Danny Green. Like Terrence Davis, Chris Boucher, like these guys are
chorus together. Siakam,
Rondae Hollis,
VanVleet, Lowry, you know, Gasol. Come on, these guys is all there. Come on, these guys, they got veterans in that locker room, and these guys is going to fall in line. And so I'm buying that this team can get to the finals for the simple fact, when I look at Milwaukee, they got one superstar.
Right.
And so now you got other all-star players, but they're inconsistent. And so you got Siakam. He can eventually cancel out Greek Freak on some nights and give you big nights. Maybe not every night, but some nights.
Big question, can they manufacture enough offense?
We'll see.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For highlights and analysis, check out the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, check out ESPN+.